talk a little bit about when and why I lost respect for the Obama administration. Right. Um, the biggest thing was the Osama bin Laden photos that basically had come out, and his statement afterwards that America has never been a country that has to take photos, and that they were very graphic and all this other sorts of stuff. And the truth of things is, if you know the history of the United States, you'll find that exactly the opposite is true. During the Civil War, that was actually the pinnacle, the crest of both embalming and photography in the United States, as far as photographers going around, because people would die, and it was oftentimes 4 to 6 weeks, and they didn't have refrigerators to get them, from wherever the battle was that they might have perished in to home. So embalming became popular, so the family would actually be able to say goodbye, and also post-mortem photography became very popular. And oftentimes, the only photo of a child may be when the child died at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And you can tell, you can research these photos, and you can actually look at them, because they're usually, because of the long exposure, they're usually the only ones that are in focus, because their parents might be sitting around them, their parents had to breathe, and of course that made them a little bit soft in the photo. So the cadaver is usually the one that's in focus, the most perfect one in the photos, right? In a time like today, where everybody goes through every single button up, myself included, takes photos of our Starbucks and like our coffees and the kind of shit that we eat and where we're visiting on our phones, and we post selfies and all this other bullshit, to make a statement that we've never been about that, when you can go back and look at photos of Dillinger, Billy the Kid, Jesse James, Ted Bundy, even, you know what I mean, post-mortem photography, and this was even before everybody had cell phones, so everybody essentially became a photographer. When President Obama ended up saying that, I lost complete respect for him right then and there. The second thing that didn't make sense to me was the Muslim apparent burial at sea of Osama bin Laden, which, by the way, scholars agree, Muslim scholars, that it actually breaks Sharia law, right? It breaks Sharia law because of the simple fact that somebody should never really be buried at sea. Even if they die at sea, if you can get them to land, you should bury them in land. It actually talks about this. So I don't know if this was from the time that, Salah ad-Din was traveling the mid-1100s and ruling for, the 30 years and spreading Islam during that time, that this rule came in. I've looked it up. I haven't really been able to find it as far as that goes. The only thing it does talk about is, I guess, if somebody does die at sea and they're not able to get them back, that they should bury them in a way that the sea creatures should not devour them very quickly, right? There's actually specifics written in the Quran about that.